It's a kind of magic.
Live from the Twin City.
It's a kind of magic.
It's Triad Today with Jeffrey Griffin.
Today is National Candy Day.
I got a sweet tooth.
Candy, candy, candy.
He gets it. I love candy.
I love candy.
I love candy. Good candy.
This is good candy.
Only the best candy in the world.
Have some breakfast candy.
Candy for breakfast.
I can just see you guys eating candy for breakfast.
So sweet. So sweet.
Happy National Candy Day.
Showtime.
Talk Sports in the Triad, WSJS. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to hour number 2 of the big show. I'm Jeffrey Griffin, right alongside Christian Snyder. Thanks for being here. You want to jump in the conversation? We'd love to have you. Lines are open. Call now, 336-777-1600. Going to be a pretty day, my friends. Fair this morning to begin. Then sunny with a high of 67. Clear overnight. We'll drop to the low 40s. Midweek will bring in some strong winds, more sunshine, a high of 72. And Thursday, we begin the tilt toward the weekend with sunny skies and a high of 65. If you're headed to the beach, the mountains, getting away for a few days, and you would like a traveling weather forecast, don't hesitate to reach out. Christian Snyder and or moi will get in touch with the gang at the Storm Report for your traveling weather forecast. The number to dial, 777-1600. It is, meanwhile, time for us to get between the pages. We are headed to historic Bethabra Park in Winston-Salem to chat with our buddy Diana Overbey. Good morning, Diana.
Good morning.
Now, normally, Diana is here to talk about some ridiculously cool and fun event going on at Bethabra, whether it's the Highland Games or the Apple Festival or Boo at Bethabra, which we just had. You all got something going on all the time. But Diana, actually, besides being the lady in charge of the fun stuff, is also a pretty smart cookie. Diana, you have taken this glorious history of Bethabra, which is a part of, I think, all of our lives, really. I mean, just there's no way we can escape it. And you've published a book. Congratulations.
Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. It was a lot of fun.
That is way cool. Now, this was not just like kind of sitting back in the office and go, yeah, I know about this. I know about that. I'm going to skip over this part. No, there's a lot of research anytime you publish a book about a historical setting, isn't there?
That is very true, yes. And with this particular book, there was also a lot of looking through photographs because that's what a lot of the book is made up of. And so I was talking to people from the archives here in Winston-Salem and the Moravian Archives in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, and the archives in Herrnhut, Germany. I was going through Forsyth County Public Library and Old Salem's collection. It was really, it was an adventure, but it was so neat to look at all of these old photographs.
Diana, a National Historic Landmark, the first Moravian settlement in North Carolina, 1753. And it is completely reasonable and fair to say that Bethabra is kind of the birthplace of Winston-Salem and Forsyth County, isn't it?
Absolutely, yes, it certainly is. And the Moravians, because of their success with Bethabra, they were able to continue on and build Bethania and Salem and the other towns in the Wachovia tract that's now Forsyth County.
And so, Diana, you were talking about our friends and colleagues in Pennsylvania. I feel like really this just kind of next door because we're so connected through the Moravian community. But the folks in Pennsylvania go, all right, y'all go south, go on down there and set up. And so then they go to Bethabra. Bethabra works. And in the era, we're not being disingenuous. That means survive, right? Survive and flourish.
Yes, survive, but not just survive, but like you said, for them to flourish. And that is that's exactly what ended up happening. It took a little while, but their economy eventually got off the ground, and they were a major commercial center for the Piedmont in North Carolina, and people would travel as far as 100 miles to come and purchase some of their goods or to come visit the doctor. So it was a major, it was a very important place for the Piedmont to flourish.
Oh, sure. And I mean, that you got Panera and McDonald's just right up the road, too. So I can totally understand people dropping
Absolutely.
by. Anyway, and so now I had it backwards, Diana. I thought it was Bethania, then Bethabra. And then I was reading about the book. It was Bethabra, then Bethania, then Old Salem, right?
That's correct.
Which
Yes.
wasn't Old Salem then. It was just Salem.
Salem. Yeah, exactly. And then, and it's funny about Bethabra too. Once we get to the end of the 18th and early 19th century, it's not really called Bethabra that much anymore. People start calling it the Old Moravian Town. And so when the post office is put in Bethabra in 1832, they renamed the town Old Town. And so a lot of people called the town Old Town for like a century or more. So that's kind of interesting too.
No way. Is that where
Yeah.
Old Town, is that where it comes from? We just kind of shifted it down Ronaldo a little bit.
Yep, exactly.
I had I can't, I'm ashamed of myself. I am this age and I did not know that. So really 1753, the first site, it becomes sort of one of the go-to settlements in the 18th century. And then we're on to a 21st century historic site. And now it is just a part of growing up, not only in Winston-Salem, but the Piedmont Triad. We come out there in the fall because it's the right thing to do. It's kind of like a spiritual home. For me, it is in the fall season. We come out there for Christmas. We go and we sing carols and we have love feast and we get our little candle with the red frilly stuff around it, which we put in our backpack and then bend it and we're home. And every kid in America has done that. And we've got music and games and bands and crafts and artistry. And I think I've shared this story with you before, and I'll share it with everybody again. If somebody at your house says, sleep tight before you go off to bed. Now, where does that come from? A lot of folks go, I have no idea, Jeffrey, it just means sleep. That's all. No. I Diana, so often it's hard to point to a place and say, I learned this on this day, or I learned this fact from this teacher. I remember it vividly. I do remember this. I like it was yesterday. They're in Bethabra, and we're going through the house there, and we get to the bed, and it's a rope tied, to the bed frame. And when the bed would start to sag a bit, they would take off the covers and you would tighten up the ropes. And that would go, it's like getting a new mattress. You're kind of firming up the mattress and you had to sleep tight. You had to be sure that the ropes were pulled tight on the bottom of the bed. Now, Diana already knew this because she's smarter than the rest of us. But for the rest of you, that's where sleep tight comes from, was you having to tie the ropes on your bed. So see, you learn all kinds of cool stuff on the big show. Diana, how long did it take you to put the book together?
So it took about a year and a half of research and finding the pictures and then putting the pictures together as to which ones I wanted to use, creating the chapters, and then writing all of the information for each of the picture and introductions to each of the chapters. So about a year and a half or so.
Proofread.
Yes,
oh
absolutely.
And now you have a social life again. You can go
That's right.
You can go out and go to some parties and stuff. Folks, you got to get the book. There are archival maps, there are drawings, there are portraits, there are photographs. Learn Bethabra's story. It is a part of our legacy and our heritage, whether you live just down the road or right in the heart of Bethabra. And we're going to have a big get-together, a soiree. It is the book launch and the book signing. Diana, when and where?
That's going to be this Saturday, November the 8th, from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock in the Bethabra Visitor Center. And I'm going to be doing a little bit of a talk at 2 o'clock, and then the book signing will go from around 2:30 to 4.
All right. And the book will be available for purchase?
It will be available for purchase in our gift shop, yes.
There you can go. Now, folks, I got to tell you, for anybody who loves Winston-Salem, for people who are fond of the Piedmont Triad, for all of us that call North Carolina home, this book, you're going to add this into your collection. You've got these historical books. I mean, there's a whole library, Diana. We've got them for Forsyth County and Guilford County and Stokes County, and there's one for Danbury, and we have these for all these communities. Well, Diana has now added to the collection. You have got to get this one. This is at the top of your list for your holiday shopping. If you've ever been to Bethabra, just get it. And now you get the inside story. You know all that there is to know. That is this Saturday from 2 until 4 at the Visitor Center there at historic Bethabra Park. Diana, is there another book on the horizon?
Not at the moment. There's one that's sort of percolating right now, but it's not actually been written yet. So
now,
we'll
Diana,
see.
I see now we could do a cookbook. We could do like a Bethabra Gardens. We could do a cookbook, right?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I like your ideas.
All right, now how about now? See, I was just thinking out loud. I'm gonna keep Diana busy. I like Diana. I don't want her to go away. I want her to stay here. So we could do a garden. But if you've never been down to Bethabra Gardens, I don't know what in the world you've not been paying attention. And then, Diana, here's another one. Why don't we do a children's book on colonial era games at Bethabra?
There you go. That would be great. I mean, I don't draw, so if I can find an illustrator, that would be fantastic.
Okay, I don't draw either. We get some magic markers. We can get the washable markers. It will all work out. This will all be good. So we could do the games. We could do the garden. We could do a gardening book. We could do. We have to. And even if we make them up at this point, I know you feel like there are ghosts at Bethabra, right? You just kind of get that sense. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Now, just see me through this. I'm thinking out loud, Diana. When you were in school, did you ever have to read Spoon River Anthology?
Yes, I did.
Yes. You remember that? There were stories that dead people would tell, right?
Yes.
Then their spirits would stand up, and we all suffered that. And I say that, yes, we all suffered Spoon River Anthology. For those of you that haven't read it, your life is incomplete and your diploma is invalid. It doesn't mean anything. So, Diana, what if we went back and we looked through the Moravian rolls, meticulous note takers that they were, and we created all these stories about the people that lived and died and played and laughed and loved and worked there in Bethabra. And we could, rather than a Spoon River anthology, we could do a Bethabra anthology. What do you think?
I like that idea. I really do. And when the Moravians, when they passed away, they would have something called a Lebenslauf, or like a life memoir that would be read at their funeral that would tell about their life. And Moravian Archives in Winston-Salem has quite a few of those Lebenslauf, so we could just, look at those and actually be able,
Diana,
I think we're good.
To work on now. All right, coming in 2026. Here we go. All right, so we've got plans. But again, Saturday, 2 to 4 at Historic Bethabra Park Visitor Center, the book launch and the signings. And if you're well behaved, they may even have refreshments. So, Diana, congratulations, my friend. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it. It was great talking to you.
We are proud of you. Come back anytime. We'll talk closer to Christmas. Christmas at Bethabra coming up, right?
Yep. Yeah, it is December the 6th. We're rolling.
We're ready to go. All right, folks, we're going to take a break. Y'all say bye to Diana. She'll be back. Diana says bye. All right, when we come back, Julie Williamson will be here with Mom Life on News Talk Sports for the Triad, WSJS.